Welcome back, Miami fans. Today we're going to be discussing the game that's coming up for the University of Miami, and this is probably going to be the biggest game of the year right now as it is for the University of Miami. And the reason behind that is because Louisville is going to be the first team that we play that actually is, they're 4-2. They're kind of a contender, but they probably have the best team that we've faced, I would say, out of everyone that we've played. So this is going to be the biggest test because obviously we still have to play Clemson. Clemson is looking very good right now. And the last two games that we played against Cal and against Virginia Tech, we fell behind pretty significantly in both of those games. And why I say that is because Louisville is a much better team than those teams. So us falling behind is going to be very, very different than against, obviously, Virginia Tech and Cal, because those teams are great. But Louisville was ranked earlier this season. They're 4-2, and their players are significantly better. So we'll go over right now. Tyler Show is going to be the quarterback that we have. Seems to be, judging by the Virginia Tech game and obviously a little bit of the Cal game, is that the mobile quarterbacks Miami kind of struggles against. We tend to not be able to contain them. Quick intermission. If you're liking this video, do me that favor. Hit the like, hit that subscribe. Fins up, baby. In the pocket and make them throw. And Tyler Show's got some legs on him. So his stats right now are 1,674 yards, 4 touchdowns, and only 3 interceptions. He is going to be, I would say, the best quarterback that the University of Miami has faced thus far. And this is going to be another guy that if we don't contain him, that he's going to run all over us. He's going to make a lot of plays. Obviously, we got Ruben Bain back. Mark Barron has to step up a lot more than he has been doing, but we have to be able to contain this quarterback because at the end of the day, I think for the last, I would say, 2 years, Miami has struggled against mobile quarterbacks. We're going to talk about the defense first, and then they have Isaac Brown, which is their running back, 508 yards and 3 touchdowns. He's a very shifty back. So again, they're going to run this RPO type of style, and they're going to want to run the ball a lot. Their whole thing is RPO and then down the field passes, which we'll get into in a second. But Isaac Brown is a very shifty back. He's decently fast. He's not as big as the other running backs, so tackling properly, we will be able to do that. But he's a very shifty back. He finds the open holes. He has a lot of talent. And again, like I said, with Ty Show, they're going to be running, the run-pass option that is going to allow us to kind of diagnose what we need to work on as we go throughout the season. And then they have Ja'Cory Brooks, which is their wide receiver, 572 yards and 6 touchdowns. This dude, 6'3", he's a big guy, big target, somebody that, again, like I said, if you don't contain the quarterback, that it is going to be a tough day, and they're going to throw it up to him a lot against our corners. It's a big guy, catches the ball. He's going to be one of the top receivers probably going into the draft. This is going to be a guy that, obviously the defense has to surround around. He is a stud of a wide receiver. So at the end of the day, obviously we'll go into the Miami Hurricanes, and Cam Ward, the last couple of games, has thrown, not just interceptions, but a couple of stupid interceptions that have led to points on the other side. In order to win this game, he needs to play his best game thus far. Again, like I said, this is going to be a team that if you get down the way that we did against Virginia Tech, against Cal, we are not going to be able to come back the same. Now, I have faith in everything that they do, but it's going to be much tougher to come back against this team than against the other teams. And the reason why it's such a pivotal game is because we are undefeated right now. This is going to be the first team that we face that is, no offense to the other teams. Every team, is very good, but this is going to be the first good team that we face out of the entire schedule thus far. And this is going to be the real test. And the reason why I say this is so pivotal is because we faced okay teams, and we started off significantly slow. And honestly, Cam Ward has not looked great in the first half of both of those games. And this is going to be something that we have to be able to see from Cam Ward is, can you consistently, now I understand adversity, he looks great against adversity, but also those 2 games could have easily flipped. We could have been, basically 2 losses already in the season. So the reason why this is going to be big time is that we have to see if Cam Ward can start the first half moving the ball, doing the things, and not making stupid mistakes. There's fumbles and interceptions that keep happening from him in the first half, and it puts us behind the 8 ball. Now, I know he brings us back, but if you're going to be, number one, a top quarterback in the league and a top quarterback in this, college era right now, you can't be making these silly mistakes in the first half, putting your team behind the 8 ball. And like I said, against this team, they have an offense that can definitely put up points behind that. This is going to be a real test of our defense and of Cam Ward to see if we can consistently put a game together because, as a fan, whether it be the Dolphins or the Miami Hurricanes or even the Miami Heat, you want to make the championship game. That's what you want to do. I don't want to go into the playoffs and just get bounced in the first round. I want to make a run, and this is probably going to be the best team that we've been able to put together, especially with the quarterback, for a very long time. And again, like I said, putting it all together is the test of this game. I have a very high hopes, but right now, again, I think it's like 45% chance that they have right now for Louisville winning, and then 55 for Miami. And again, like I said, if Cam Ward can put together a solid game, this is going to be all on Cam Ward. I am very iffy about the defense, so this is going to be all on Cam Ward. He needs to put together a consistent game, not an up and down one, but a consistent game. I'm really strongly urging that there can't be these dumb mistakes in the first half that, again, allow them to score points on us. We have to be able to either move the ball or be able to get rid of the ball and not cause your defense to be put in a position where they could be vulnerable. Because, again, at the end of the day, our defense, after these last couple games, kind of suspect. As we've seen, kind of suspect. We don't get a lot of pass rush, and receivers tend to go wide open at the end of the field if you give, more than 2 seconds. And like I said, the pass rush is not really there like it used to be in the past couple seasons. I'm not really seeing them they're getting close, but I'm not seeing them finishing and sacking the cornerback. Actually, very similar to the Miami Dolphins, where you're just not getting a lot of pass rush from these guys. And the problem with that is that, you can't give this quarterback a lot of time because he's going to carve you up. He's going to do, whether it be with his legs or with his arm, he's going to cause you to, allow points on the board. So, like I said, this game is going to be a full examination of Cam Ward, because you have to realize that your defense is not as elite as you thought it was. Now, of course, you always have confidence in your defense, but you cannot give the ball away because this defense isn't really able to hold teams. They're not really able to keep teams from scoring. So putting them in bad positions already puts them in a position to allow points on the board. Most of the time, what it's looking like with this University of Miami team, hopefully it gets better, is that when we play these good teams, it's going to be a shootout. We're going to have to score a lot of points. And again, with these types of teams, when you play a Clemson or you get into the playoffs, why this is a pivotal game is because it's going to see if we can just consistently score points on offense and hopefully get to a point where our defense can just hold teams to less points than us. Because the last 2 games, it's been I think it was 30 points for both of those games. This is not winning football. So we're going to see the test on Saturday, of what the University of Miami is really about. And this is kind of a pivotal point for how it's been for years. The University of Miami, they always tend to look really good against bad teams. And then we finally play a Florida State, a Clemson, or any of those teams, and we get blown out. I'm not saying that this is the same caliber of Clemson, and I'm not saying this is the same type of team that we've had for years, but again, this has always been the test. Play good against really, mediocre to okay teams, and then we finally play that good team, and it looks like a completely different team. That can't happen this game. But we will see what happens. This falls on Cam Ward. Cam Ward has to put a consistent game together and really push the forerunner to the Heisman Trophy and also to being the #1 draft pick this year. This is the game to showcase what you can do and what Miami is truly about. So we'll see what happens. As always, guys, go you. We'll talk about the Dolphins later on in the next video, but wanted to make a view video just to keep you guys updated on what's going on. Big game Saturday. Love you guys all. Make sure you subscribe and hit that like. Appreciate you guys as always. Peace.